Hello?
I closed the tab. Wait.
Okay, can you hear me? Is it delayed?
Um, I will be right back. I will reset my router.
Okay. Okay, can you hear me? This delay. Okay. Hello.
Hello?
Screw it. Okay.
I think it's 4 second delay.
Oh, really? How much? Like, okay, I'm speaking again. Like, is it delayed? How much? Is it still like 4 seconds?
Um, hello, okay.
Hello.
Yeah,
Okay, good. Wait, okay, hold on. Okay, okay? Everything's working.
yeah, it's working fine. It's
Yeah,
working fine.
yeah. The stream is a bit delayed, longer for you, I think. Yeah.
No, it's just 4 second.
Oh, no, cause like when I talk to you, you like take like 10 seconds to reply. Okay, you wanna? Okay, okay, let's go. Okay, it's working. Are you ready? Okay, let's go.
Hello, I am lead developer Philip Victor, and I'd like to welcome you to Half-Life 2 update and its brand new community commentary mode. This latest version of the update was certainly the most ambitious version yet, and has taken 3 years of development to get it just right. My goal is to create an experience where long-time fans can replay the game they love in a new and improved form, and first-time players can have an experience that's closer to modern visual and technical standards, while also maintaining and respecting the 2004's original sensibilities, gameplay, and concepts. This community commentary feature aims to provide information not mainly on the development of the update itself, but on the development of the original Half-Life 2 using research and community input. To listen to a commentary node, put your crosshair over the floating commentary symbol and press your use key. To stop a commentary node, put your crosshair over the rotating node and press the use key again. Consider joining the official Steam group to give me your impression and suggestions, and stay on top of Half-Life 2 updates news. Thanks and have fun!
Rise and shine, Mr. Freeman. Rise and shine. Not that I wish to imply you have been sleeping on the job. No one is more deserving of a rest, and all the effort in the world would have gone to waste until... well, let's just say your hour has come again. The right man in the wrong place can make all the difference in the world. So wake up, Mr. Freeman. Wake up and smell the ashes.
I didn't see you get on. No matter how many times I've been relocated, I never get used to it. This is my 3rd transfer this year. Well, end of the line.
Welcome to City 17. You have chosen, or been chosen, to relocate to one of our finest remaining urban centers. I thought so much of City
Do you wanna play
that I
the game with
elected to
these things? I
establish
mean, all they do is
my
just like give
administration
information
here
on like development
in the
and stuff.
Citadel so far.
We opted to label this as a community commentary as opposed to developer commentary for several reasons. First and foremost, we were not developers that worked on any official release of Half-Life 2, but also because we wanted to approach this commentary not as a developer, but as fans of the game. I was responsible for creating most of the commentary, with the help of several other Half-Life fans and members of our Steam group. Any nodes pertaining to the development of the update will be read by Victor and myself, and any nodes with facts and insight into the original Half-Life 2 and its development will be read by Ross Scott and our friends from Digital Gaming. Many people pitched in a lot of time and energy to make this happen, and I hope it will be something you enjoy. Thanks.
Wait, what did you say? Leave them on or play without them?
The game is too loud.
Yeah, okay,
Can't hear you speak.
I lowered it. Is this better?
That's
I've been
better.
proud to call City 17 my home.
Okay, so like, do
so,
you
whether
play?
you
Do
are here to
do I play
stay
with
or
these or leave them on?
passing
Like, do you
through
want to know
the
about the?
home,
the behind the scenes.
to City 17. It's safer here.
This train station is our first introduction.
What? I'm gonna play with them, okay? Is that
Casino.
is that okay with you?
This train station is our first introduction to City 17 and the world of Half-Life 2. Valve's level designers had to carefully craft every aspect of this scene to convey its oppressive atmosphere. This sort of environmental storytelling was something that Valve pioneered back in the days of Half-Life 1, and it allowed them to flesh out a setting without ever taking control away from the player. One advantage of Half-Life 2's approach when compared to Half-Life 1's opening train ride sequence is that players can explore at their own pace and learn a lot of additional information by interacting with the characters. All of these techniques are key parts of maintaining the player's sense of immersion and are quite prevalent throughout the first few chapters of the
You are
game.
here to stay or passing through on your way to parts unknown? Welcome to City 17. It's safer here.
Wait, what?
This first sighting of a Vortigaunt serves two purposes. It's a reminder of the events of Half-Life 1, and it's a sign of how the situation has changed since the Black Mesa incident. A member of a race who was once a foe for the player now complacently sweeps a station platform while a civil protection officer hovers nearby. The Vortigaunt's subservient posture and lack of hostility towards the player is one of the first indications that the human and Vortigaunt races have met a similar fate.
To relocate to one of our finest remaining urban centers. I thought so much of City 17 that I elected to establish my administration here, in the citadel so thoughtfully provided by our benefactors. I've been proud to call City 17 my home. And so, whether you are here to stay or passing through on your way to parts unknown, welcome.
Overwatch
City
stopped our
17.
train in the woods and
It's
took my
safe.
husband for questioning. They said he'd be on the next train. I'm not sure when that was. Did they're be nice, though, letting me wait for him.
Oh, seems okay. So it seems like after Black Mesa thing, something took over the planet or something. I don't know. I keep seeing these guys in uniforms.
Welcome.
Don't drink the water. They put something in it to make you forget. I don't even remember how I got here.
But the NPC interactions.
I thought so much of City 17 that I elected to establish my administration here, in the citadel so thoughtfully provided by our benefactors.
I see they took your suitcase too. They can't get away with this much longer.
My home. And so, whether you are here to stay or passing through on your way to
This sequence clearly illustrates the division of humanity into loyalists and lower middle class individuals. The contrast between the faceless metro cops who have traded away their humanity for power and the terrified citizens clinging to their few remaining shreds of normality shows the relationship between the two factions perfectly.
Welcome to City 17. It's safer here.
Where are you heading? East? Dr. Breen again? I was hoping I'd seen the last of him in City 14. I wouldn't say that too loud. This is his base of operations.
Is the audio too quiet or is it like normal?
Welcome.
Something that is made evident over the course of the game is the Combine's treatment of Earth and everyone on it as commodities, shipping people from one place to another and harvesting them with only token regard for how their loss affects anything else. The citizens' prison-style uniforms are some of the first indications of this, but the theme is reinforced later by the Combine's use of part biological, part mechanical synths from the previous conquests.
I've been proud to call City 17 my home. And so, whether you are here to stay or passing through on your way to parts unknown, welcome to City 17. It's safer here.
Huh? What? Too quiet?
This must be a mistake.
No,
I got a
it's just
standard
too
relocation
much
to go
noise.
just like
It's
everybody
hard to hear.
Oh. Okay.
About that beer I owed you. It's me, Gordon, Barney from Black Mesa. Hey, sorry for the scare. I had to put on a show for the cameras. I've been working undercover with civil protection. I can't take too long or they'll get suspicious. I'm way behind.
Oh, do you know him? He's from. He's the guy we played us in Black Mesa Blue Shift. The security guard.
Sorry, Doc, but look who's here.
Great Scott! Gordon Freeman.
Oh.
Yeah, you and me both, Doc. He was about to board the express to Nova Prospect.
Well, Barney, what do you intend?
I'm thinking.
Alex is around here somewhere. She would have a better idea how to get him here.
Oh, as long as he stays away from checkpoints, we should be okay. Listen, I gotta go, Doc. We're taking enough chances as it is.
Very well. And, Gordon, good to see you.
Okay, Gordon. You're gonna have to make your own way to Dr. Kleiner's lab. Oh, man, that's what I was afraid of. Get in here, Gordon, before you blow my cover.
Barney and Dr. Kleiner were developed from the generic scientists and security guards of Half-Life 1. The entire supporting cast of the original Half-Life consisted of only a few voice actors and character models, so Valve decided to distill the characteristics of those NPCs into fully developed, fleshed-out individuals for Half-Life 2. The state-of-the-art facial animations and detailed visuals of the Source engine gave Valve great tools to tell stories of a much more personal nature, and they've used these tools to create a core cast of iconic characters that lend far more weight to the storyline.
Pile up some stuff to get through that window and keep going till you're in the plaza. I'll meet up with you later.
The infamous pick up that can segment serves a dual purpose. It puts the player in the place of one of this world's downtrodden civilians, while also teaching the player how to interact with this world he or she is now a part of. As this was one of the first games to pioneer fully interactive physics-based worlds, players were shocked not only because they were asked to pick up the can, but because they could. Actions speak louder than words, and because the encounter takes place solely within the mechanics of the game, the player is free to respond exactly how he or she chooses, and can roleplay Gordon in a more meaningful way than with a dialogue option. This moment has become an enormous inside joke with the Half-Life community, spawning many parodies and references.
Hopes and fears for the future of the species. I also detect some...
Breen's speeches demonstrate some of the game's most interesting characterization because they provide not only his motivations and some local news, but they also portray the internal conflict that's central to his character. It's clear from the rehearsed and detached sound in his voice that he's likely to have put a lot of mental effort into justifying his decision to sell humanity into eternal servitude and conformity. His lofty, transhumanist rhetoric often seems to be as much to convince himself as it is to the citizens that he addresses.
I don't know about you, but I'm ready to join Civil Protection just to get a decent meal. You gotta be damn hungry to wait in line for this crap. You'll have to wait your turn like everybody else. The line starts at the end.
You'll have to wait your turn like everybody
The
else.
line starts at the end. You gotta be damn hungry to wait in line for this crap.
Green's speeches demonstrate
Society's underlying your concern, rather than trying to answer every possible question you might have left unvoiced.
We can't be seen talking to each other.
First, let us consider the fact that for the first time...
That's enough of that.
As a species,
stop that.
Is in our reach.
Whoa.
This simple fact has
What the fuck?
far-reaching implications. It requires radical rethinking.
This is the player's first view of the outside world, and the Citadel is what will immediately draw the player's attention. Since it is first viewed while aligned with the Greencast monitor atop the obelisk, it is easy for the two to be instantly connected in the player's mind. The Citadel's gigantic size not only shows the Combine's immense power, but also allows the player to see it from many locations throughout the game, anchoring the player within the world and building it up as the location for the final struggle.
It also requires planning and forethought that run in direct opposition to our neural precepts. I find it helpful at times like these to remind myself that our true enemy is instinct. Instinct was our mother when we were an infant species. Instinct conquered us. It was safe.
When designing Half-Life 2, the team at Valve decided on an Eastern European setting and wanted City 17 to appear to have grown naturally over time like most cities in Europe. To achieve this realistic look, they started by first designing the older buildings, and then added in layers of newer and newer buildings from different eras. Finally, they added the Combine architecture, for example the barricades, catwalks, watchtowers, and of course the Citadel, to show that the Combine are now a part of the city's history.
Several times throughout this commentary, there are references to Half-Life 2's realistic look. Those familiar with Half-Life 2 will know it is, in fact, quite stylized, so I'd like to explain what this means. Half-Life 2 is based on our world, and it tries very much to have a good sense of realism, something it carries over from its predecessor. Guns and items don't hover, rotating in midair, characters have realistic proportions, and much of the in-game architecture is based off of, or inspired by, real-world buildings. Half-Life 2 is stylized, but it has a bent towards presenting its world in a realistic way, and that's the issue we are discussing.
This is how it always starts. First the building, then the whole block. They have no reason to come to our place. Don't worry, they'll find one. Just be glad you don't live there. If you're looking for a place to stay, you better keep going. Just be glad you don't live there. If you're looking for a place to stay, you better keep going.
In early versions of Half-Life 2, views of citizen life were restricted to minor window glimpses. The development team had plans for a rooftop segment, but had no existing designs for getting the player up there from the courtyards and streets. By adding in the apartment building, players were then able to interact with the citizens who would not speak to them on the streets, and gain further insight as to how citizens live under Combine law.
Was that you knocking? I didn't know we still had a door.
Do our benefactors really know what's best
Oh,
for us?
I thought you were a cop.
What gives them the right to
He's
make
one of
this
us.
kind of decision for mankind? Will they ever deactivate the suppression?
Told you they'd be coming for us next.
Just this once, I hope you're wrong.
Allow me to address the anxieties underlying your concerns.
The televised broadcasts inside citizens' homes revealed the extent to which the Combine's propaganda has intruded into every aspect of the citizens' lives, contributing to the dystopian, prison-like feel of City 17. The very simple act of allowing players to unplug the TV and fling it out a window lets these players express some rebellion towards the Combine while showcasing Source's physics system and the freedom it offers.
First, consider the fact that for the first time
They're definitely coming in here. It was just a matter of time.
This doesn't look good. Here goes the rest of the neighborhood.
When is it all going to end?
These two citizens, who are known as the sad couple or the consoling couple, show up multiple times throughout the Half-Life 2 series to illustrate the emotional impact the Combine rule has on Earth's enslaved population. Though their poses never change, their dialogue does, and it branches out into more direct exposition regarding the current events within the world. This shows the player how others react to their actions, creating the illusion that the game's world is far larger and more dynamic than the current map being played.
The apartment block raid was added later into the game's development, and Valve was initially worried that players would not feel compelled to run, causing the sequence to be confusing and overly difficult. When playtesting started, however, players would panic, but almost always know what to do. Upon escaping the raid through the attic, players often felt as though they had barely escaped.
Attention, residents. Miscount detected in your block. Cooperation with your civil protection team. Permit full ration reward.
Hey you! In here! Head for the roof. There's no time to lose.
Attention. All citizens in local residential blocks resume your inspection position.
Get in here, quick!
Attention.
Keep moving,
All
head for the roof!
citizens in local residential blocks resume your inspection position.
Up until this point, City 17 had only been viewed by the player from the ground level. This rooftop escape provides a clear bird's-eye view of the city to greater establish the location that will become central to the rest of the game, with a nice sense of scale. The Combine air and ground forces visibly mobilizing also offers the player a brief glimpse of the stronger foes that will be confronted directly later in the game.
See how tall that is? Jesus. Yo. Hey, I actually wanna get up there. I wanna get up there. Ouch. Petrol. You here, Sauce?
Dr. Freeman, I presume. I better hurry. The Combine can be slow to wake, but once they're up, you don't want to get in their way. Dr. Kleiner said you'd be coming this way. I don't think it occurred to him that you might not have a map.
Alex Vance is a character that is central to the Half-Life 2 saga. The close-up view that the player sees after she takes out the Metro cops places her into the spotlight, setting her up as a central character while showcasing Source's revolutionary facial animation technology. To ensure that the player's attention continues to be on Alex during these introductory moments, a convenient elevator ride removes any distractions from the area as the player becomes acquainted with her. Her dialogue there and in the segments that follow provide context for her character and explains her relationships to the other characters that players have already met.
I'm Alex Vance. My father worked with you back in Black Mesa. I'm sure you don't remember me, though. Man, a few words, aren't you? Remember him from Black Mesa? Your old administrator. Don't get my dad started on Dr. Breen. Through here. Funny, you showing up on this day in particular. We've been helping people escape the city on foot. It's a dangerous route to my father's lab, through the old canals. Today, we're finally on the verge of having a better way. Here, let me buy you a drink. Oh, and by the way, nice to finally meet you.
During long expository scenes such as this one, Valve prefers to let the player look and walk around freely rather than seizing player control for a cutscene. These scripted sequences are densely packed with detail and optional interactions, and the player can decide where to focus his or her attention. This method of storytelling helps to build immersion through interactivity, and allows returning players to entertain themselves with things they might have missed the last time they played.
Where did she get to? Lamar, come out of there!
Uh-oh, everything all right, Dr. Kleiner?
Oh, hello, Alex. Well, almost all right. Lamar has gotten out of her crate again. If I didn't know better, I'd suspect Barney of trapping in... My goodness. Gordon Freeman. It really is you, isn't it?
I found him wandering around outside. Bit of a troublemaker, isn't he?
We owe a great deal to Dr. Freeman, even if trouble does tend to follow in his wake. I must say, Gordon, you come at a very opportune time. Alex has just installed the final piece for our resurrected teleport.
I can't take any credit for the breakthrough, Doctor.
Nonsense. Your talents surpass your lovely.
Let's just see if this thing works, okay?
Well, it's here. There you are. Man, Gordon, you stirred up the hive. We can't keep him here long, Doc. It'll jeopardize everything we've worked for.
Don't worry, he's coming with me.
That's right, Bonnie. This is a red letter day. We'll inaugurate the new teleport with a double transmission.
You mean it's working? For real this time? Because I still have nightmares about that cat.
No, there's nothing to be nervous about.
What cat?
We've made major strides since then. Major strides.
What cat?
Doc, since he's not taking the streets, you might as well get him out of the civvies.
What? Oh dear, you're right. I almost forgot. Bonnie, I'll give you the honor.
I've got to get back on my shift, but okay. Here we go. Ah!
Oh.
Damn it, get it off me!
Lamar, there you are.
I thought you
Bet.
got rid of that pest.
Certainly not. Never fear, Gordon. She's de-beaked and completely harmless. The worst she might do is attempt to couple with your head. Fruitlessly.
Get that thing away from me!
Here, my pet. Hop up. No, not up there. No. Careful, Lamar. Those are quite fragile. Oh, fie. It'll be another week before I can coax her out there.
Yeah, longer if we're lucky.
Barney, you're not an animal person.
Well, Gordon, go ahead. Slip into your suit now.
Oh shit, G-Man.
Gordon, the longer you delay, the greater the danger to us all.
No.
This was the first choreographed scene created for Half-Life 2, and was used as a template for similar scenes throughout the rest of the game. Scripts went through many revisions with the aid of feedback from the animators. It was important that the scenes be engaging and interesting for the players watching it, and for the animators creating it. Once the scripts were in the final stages, the lines would be recorded and turned into a radio play. These scenes needed to convince players that the world and characters in it were real and tangible. This was accomplished through visible, physical interactions between different characters, and between the characters and their environment. A handshake or hug between characters, or having someone pick up an in-world object and present it to the player, went a long way toward making Half-Life 2's world appear tangible.
Power armor is common among first-person shooters. Its primary purpose is to provide an in-world explanation for important gameplay elements, like why the player can take so many bullets, and the existence of a heads-up display. The HEV suit in particular is useful as it alerts the player of environmental hazards, as well as the current status of Gordon's health. Half-Life 2's HEV Mark V appears to be composed mostly of a Kevlar or chainmail-like material, which seems far more realistic than Half-Life 1's rigid and metallic design for the Mark IV. In fact, the Mark V was to be much more flexible, resembling a leather torture suit. However, this was inevitably scrapped, presumably due to a more familiar design that was faithful to the original game.
Those who had played the first Half-Life were very impressed with the sparse and primitive dramatic scenes within the game. This positive response inspired Valve to push the boundaries of in-game dramatics in Half-Life 2. In order for the game's characters to be compelling, they needed to have realistic and expressive faces. After trying to achieve this via several methods, and being unhappy with the results, they stumbled upon the work of Dr. Paul Ekman, who wanted a clinical way to describe overall facial expressions. He accomplished this by breaking the range of facial expressions down into 40 or so small facial adjustments, like the raising of an eyebrow or the puckering of the lips. By understanding how these adjustments combined together and affected each other to form expressions, a system could be formed that would recreate these small adjustments on a computer-generated face, achieving the realistic and expressive faces that are a hallmark of Half-Life 2.
If Dr. Kleiner says you should wear that thing, you should wear it.
Well, Gordon, I see your HEV suit still fits you like a glove. At least the glove parts do. I've made a few modifications, but I'll just acquaint you with the essentials. Now, let's see. The Mark V Hazardous Environment suit has been redesigned for comfort and utility. Oh dear.
Doc, we don't have time for this. At least get that suit juiced up.
There's a charger on the wall. I've modified your suit to draw power from Combine energy outlets, which are plentiful wherever they patrol.
Meanwhile, let's get this show on the road. Well, come on. Dr. Kleiner's waiting.
Oh, hey, look, that's me. With the glasses.
You coming?
Why is this guy crossed out?
This way, Gordon.
Gordon, why don't you position yourself near the panel over there and wait for my word?
Isaac, are you there?
Yes, Eli. Bit of a holdup on this end. You'll never guess who found his way into our lab this morning.
Oh, that's not who I think it is it?
Indeed it is, and it's our intention to send him packing straight away in the company of your lovely daughter.
Are you ready for us, Dad?
We're all set on this end.
Then let's do it.
That's what you said last time.
Hey, yeah, about that cash. Doctor, the plug.
Dear me, you're right. Gordon, would you mind plugging us in?
It's right there, Gordon.
Excellent.
You gonna let Gordon throw the switch?
Go right ahead. Very good. Final sequence. Commencing now.
I can't look.
Okay.
Well, did it work?
See for yourself.
Hey, Doc.
Thank goodness. My relief is almost palpable.
Fantastic work, is it?
Well, I can't take all the credit. Dr. Freeman proved an able assistant.
Let's go ahead and bring Gordon through now.
Right you are. Speak to you again in a few moments.
Good job, Gordon. Throwing that switch and all. I can see your MIT education really pays for itself.
All right, Barney. Your turn.
Gee, thanks.
Gordon, as soon as you're in position, we'll send you to Eli's.
And not a moment too soon.
Excellent. Initializing in 3, 2, 1. Barney, if you'd be so kind.
Good luck out there, Gordon.
Yes, indeed. We're ready to project you, Gordon. Bon voyage, and best of luck in your future endeavors. Final sequence.
Oh shit.
What is
No!
Something's going away.
Don't worry, Gordon.
And all but certainly Gordon Freeman. He didn't come through.
Where is he?
Behind you. Shut it down, shut it down.
You must get out of here. Run! Get down out of sight. I'll come by you.
The teleport sequence you just witnessed served several purposes. It effectively separates Alex and Gordon, alerts Dr. Breen and the Combine of your return as a viable threat, and sets the player off on their journey with a clear goal in mind: reach Black Mesa East. Several instances of content otherwise cut from the game can also be spotted in this scene, such as the barren, sandy wastelands and the ichthyosaur.
I like the teleport sequence, like teleport to random places.
Hey, Gordon! The Citadel's on full alert. I've never seen it lit up like that. Get out of City 17 as fast as you can, Gordon. Take the old canals, right? They'll get you to Eli's lab. It's a dangerous route, but there's a whole network of refugees, and they'll help you if they can. I'd come with you, but I gotta look after Dr. Kleiner. Oh, and before I forget, I think you dropped this back in Black Mesa. Good luck out there, buddy. You're gonna need it.
Identified weapon acquired.
Crowbar.
Here, Gordon Freeman is reunited with his iconic crowbar.
No.
Here, Gordon Freeman is reunited with his iconic crowbar. Having a commonplace tool as the initial weapon of the Half-Life games helps establish Gordon as an ordinary person, being thrust into extraordinary circumstances. It also helps to reinforce the fact that while the series is full of outlandish sci-fi elements, it still has its basis in the real world.
During development, many different animations were attempted for the Civil Protection officers. However, many of the various attempts didn't seem to fit them very well. It was then decided to give them a bullying personality by putting a touch of swagger in their step and having them lead with their chest as they walk. They also let their stun batons do the talking, so they always have one in hand. These small hints through body language are why players can recognize a Metro Cop's personality without much in the way of facial or vocal cues.
9mm semi-automatic handgun acquired.
What?
Guess those sirens are for you, huh? Good thing you found us. You're not the first to come through here, by
This is the Freeman. The Combine's reckoning has come.
Look, we're just a lookout for the Underground Railroad. Main station's right around the corner. They'll get you started on the right foot. Meanwhile, let my Vortigaunt friend here give you a jolt to get you going.
That is all we can spare.
Be careful now. We really can't afford to get noticed. Civil protection catches you down here, it's bad news for the whole railroad.
Do you like the game stuff?
Get out of here.
Vortigaunts are one of the few alien species to make the jump from Half-Life 1 into the world of Half-Life 2. Unlike barnacles and headcrabs, however, they are now allies of the player, who had freed their race with the defeat of the Nihilate. They now lend their mastery of electrical energy to the forces of the rebellion. They fight for their freedom in hopes of not returning to their history of servitude.
Also, I think the stream is delayed. Also, yeah. Now what? Now these guys are friends now. Yay! No longer shooting them. Actually, yeah, you should restart the stream because it's like too delayed. It's not even 4 seconds. Huh? What?
Okay, so back to 4-2.
Okay.
Over here! Keep going, friend. That station was raided, but there's others up ahead. I'm gonna stay here in case any others come through. Gotta keep the railway alive. You'd better get going now.
now following.
Oh, thanks for following, Cherry Hill. Is my overlay still working, Smooch?
The canals are populated with many small but dense and frequent details. This design choice allows for details within details. Anything from some ammo to a zombie to a skull in the mud can be hidden there, rewarding exploration and adding richness to the world.
Valve tries to stay fresh by bucking certain trends and doing things in their own unique and original style. Part of their inspiration for doing so was a gaming journalism site named Old Man Murray, which would often review games based on their originality and make fun of games that they felt lacked it. One cliché Valve tried to avoid was the first-person shooter trend of having crates and boxes strewn across its environments. However, after worrying about it for quite a while, they eventually gave in, as it proved to be a habit that was too hard to break. They threw themselves on the mercy of the court, and one of the first things that players will see is a crate.
Get in here, hurry! Civil protection is on to us.
We're tearing up the railroad, covering our tracks. Looks like you're gonna be the last one through. Be glad you're not the guy they're looking for. Poor bastard doesn't stand a chance. Sounds like they're calling in every CP unit in City 17. Now they're flooding the areas up ahead with manhacks. You better get going before they sweep through here.
Oh shit! Too late!
That was a close call. Thanks for your help. Look, it isn't safe here. Now I'll give you some supplies to keep you going, and you really gotta go.
Often, Valve prefers to introduce new enemies in a safe environment so that the player can observe their behavior prior to engaging them in battle. However, the Manhack's attack strategy relies on attacking a human target, which makes this difficult. Here, instead of having the player watch from afar, they are instead thrust into battle alongside a companion that they can observe. He is almost always attacked before the player, and the fact that he grabs a nearby pipe is a clear indicator that melee weapons are ideal when combating manhacks.
NPCs require a lot of resources, including textures, animations, combat AI, algorithms to move their eyes, and multiple sound files full of dialogue. All of these things have to be managed by the engine when a character is on the map, so it's good practice to remove characters after they have served their purpose, so that these resources don't have to be maintained anymore. If these characters were simply deleted from the map after characters progressed past their area, most players wouldn't notice. However, if someone were to backtrack, he or she would find it to be immersion breaking to find a character suddenly missing. This is why if you were to turn back from here and go to the room where you first encountered manhacks, you'd find the character dead with another manhack hovering over his head. This stays within the fiction of City 17 and effectively frees up engine resources. The same happens with many other one-off characters throughout the game.
Really? Oh shit. Yeah. Well, he's dead. You know what's creepy? This face is a real face of a bug. This is like a real bug face in it. Like, what the fuck? Oh, that's real. And like people found that out just recently.
aren't you? We got word you were coming. You got here at a bad time.
Black Mesa East to Station 6. Do you read? Dr. Freeman is on his way downriver. Lend him the airboat and give him all the help you can. Repeat, Gordon Freeman has returned. It is critical he reaches Black Mesa East.
We've got some ammo in those crates over there. Help yourself to supplies and keep moving.
The biological weapons known as head crab canisters are used by the Combine to indirectly fight the Resistance, clearing out their bases and ensuring that they cannot be repopulated. The player was once to visit the place from where these canisters were fired, and while this was cut from the final game, it was likely the inspiration for Half-Life 2 Lost Coast. The canisters themselves are most likely a retooling of a cut enemy known as the Sac-Tick. It was planned to be a macrovirus that was also to be delivered in a missile-like pod. It was to be used to soften up enemy positions, weakening them prior to a Combine attack.
I've been hoping you'd show up. Got this airboat all gassed up and ready to go. It's gonna be tough dodging civil protection out there in the open, but drive hard and you'll make it. You'll find more help up at Station 7. Just a few bends up the river. It's the old red barn. Climb on in. Fire her up. Go ahead and get in the boat, Dr. Freeman.
The Resistance-built airboat marks the first time in the Half-Life series that the player was able to freely pilot a vehicle. It was originally to be a jet ski, however playtesting made some obvious flaws apparent. Driving the jet ski felt too much like walking, and it was often hard to tell which way the vehicle was facing relative to the player. Once it was replaced with the airboat, known around Valve as the Mudskipper, the driving style felt right, and the roll cage gave the player a good reference as to the craft's orientation.
Oh shit, that's the G-Man. It's the G-Man.
Something that made Half-Life 1 unique among its peers was the existence of allies. Most similar games of that era cast all other characters as enemies of the player, and Half-Life 1 was to be the same way. However, after some experimentation with the concept of friendly NPCs, playtesters found them helpful and endearing, and it was then decided that they should become a major component of the game. The team then wondered about creating a third NPC relationship, a group or character whose motives seemed indifferent to the player. This was the birth of the mysterious character who's known only as the G-Man. He watches the player from afar with an expressionless face, stalking players through their journeys and possibly influencing future events. He is exceptionally calm and collected when considering the events of the games he appears in. There is still much mystery surrounding him, with the only known information having been extracted from game files or decoded from riddle-like dialogue. His employers, his interest in Gordon, and his ability to stay one step ahead of the player are still unexplained.
Station 12, come in. Station 12, do you read?
Originally, the canals were designed in such a way that the player was speeding past enemies which were above them. However, many players would instead choose to engage these enemies, not wanting to miss any aspect of the game. In order to maintain proper pacing, the game's canals were redesigned so that each segment was focused on either driving or fighting exclusively.
We now have direct confirmation of a disruptor in our midst, one who has acquired an almost messianic reputation in the minds of certain citizens. His figure is synonymous with the darkest urges of instinct, ignorance, and decay. Some of the worst excesses of the Black Mesa incident have been laid directly at his feet. And yet unsophisticated minds continue to imbue him with romantic power, giving him such dangerous poetic labels as the one free man, the opener of the way. Let me remind all citizens of the dangers of magical thinking. We have scarcely begun to climb from the dark pit of our species' evolution. Let us not slide backward into oblivion, just as we have finally begun to see the light. If you see this so-called free man, report him. Civic deeds do not go unrewarded, and contrariwise, complicity with his cause will not go unpunished. Be wise. Be safe. Be aware.
Valve, unwilling to break the first-person perspective, had to fine-tune how closely the player's view was attached to the airboat to maintain a sense of realism without causing nausea. Too close and every bump josted the screen, too far and the player wouldn't feel attached to the craft. By carefully adjusting how the player's view bobbed and tilted relative to the surrounding airboat, they were able to solve this problem while keeping the player's view within the vehicle.
Half-Life 2's Combine Hunter Chopper serves the same purpose as the AH-2's AH-64 Apache from Half-Life 1. Its constant stalking of the player, along with its barrage of bullets, keeps the player dashing from cover point to cover point until provided with a weapon to take it out of the sky, satisfyingly destroying the menace that is threatening to occur from space.
Source's physics system was, in many ways, at the core of Half-Life 2. It was one of the first times a dynamic physics simulation was used in a video game on such a large scale. It was important not only that objects would topple correctly when knocked into, or fall properly when dropped, but that each object made the appropriate sounds when hit with a crowbar or dragged along a wall. It was important that each object had an appropriate amount of weight, and would do the proper amount of damage when whipped against the player or another NPC. The goal was to make the physics system seem so natural and complete that it wasn't something that the players would even notice. It would just be part of the game's world.
I wouldn't believe it if I couldn't see with my own eyes. Dr. Gordon Freeman himself.
We're just getting ready to pull out.
Better hurry. Gotta tear down this camp and get out of here.
Greetings to the free man.
Come on in. I'll show you what you're up against. Here, take a look at this. This here's the dam. It's just up ahead. Eli's hideout is here, a stone's throw from the apron and nestled in the old hydro plant. But getting there, with that hunter chopper on your ass, next to impossible. Good news is, the Vortigaunt's working his magic on your airboat, so you'll have a little more firepower going forward. I think he's just finishing up now. Go on out.
Ooh, thanks.
There we are. That gun came off one of the same hunter choppers that you're up against. I always like to bring a little irony to a firefight. Take that chopper down, and you should be able to tear on through to Eli's place.
The Freeman will accept this weapon or suffer greatly on the road ahead.
Get going, Doc. We've got to break camp.
Farewell, Dr. Freeman.
Get going, Dr. Freeman. I can see Eli was right about you.
We remember the Freeman. We are coterminous. There is no distance between us. No false veils of time or space may intervene. We see you still in Black Mesa. Clearly we see you in the Annihilant's chamber.
It's the G-Man. Is there here sauce?
Yeah, I'm still here.
I'm gonna end the stream shoot. Oh wow, but look at the skybox. Like the sunset.
Yeah, the sky looks so nice. Cloud, red cloud and blue sky.
Yeah.
When creating a computer program, encountering numerous bugs and glitches is unavoidable, and Half-Life 2 is no exception. However, something that makes games unique among software is that an unintentional mistake can lead to exciting new opportunities. Valve employee Brian Jacobson was programming the Hunter Chopper's bull-rushing behavior for this final fight. The chopper was supposed to rush towards the player from a distance, spraying bullets towards the ground as it went. However, instead of telling it to fire bullets, he accidentally instructed it to drop bombs, resulting in his frame rate crawling as bombs poured out of the craft. The concept was so cool, however, that it was retooled to work correctly within the game, and became a new behavior for the Hunter Chopper.
It's the G-Man. Holy shit, the skybox. This is a 2004. This game was released 2004. How does it look so damn good?
Yeah.
We remember the Freeman. We are coterminous.
Ew, this is a different kind of hit crab. Ew.
Shall prevail.
This lone Vortigaunt, most widely known as the all-knowing Vortigaunt, is a prime example of Valve's affinity for Easter eggs, rewarding player exploration and optional exposition. Much like the G-Man, his messages are cryptic and up for interpretation. He strongly ties much of Half-Life 1's events to Half-Life 2, and is one of the few characters to make reference to the G-Man or the Nihilith. along with references that possibly discuss the existence of the player controlling Gordon. He is also referred to as the Sore Throat Vortigaunt or the Singing Vortigaunt.
And to what end?
Ouch.
Ever since the early days of Half-Life 2's development, Eli's lab was an important location. However, as the game changed, so did the lab's setting. At different points in development, it was situated under an overturned ship, or in a man-made cave filled with hanging gardens and underground wells. One iteration more closely resembled a garage rather than a lab, and was filled with old cars and mechanics equipment. Eventually, Eli's lab found its home in the decommissioned hydroelectric power plant dubbed Black Mesa East.
Something. Okay, it's human. Hello? Take it easy in there. You're safe now. You'll have to forgive the scanning process. We can't take any chances. Dr. Freeman? Gordon Freeman? Is that you? You've made it here this quickly. Well, Eli is going to be amazed, not to mention relieved. I'm Dr. Mossman, Dr. Judith Mossman. I've been hearing about you since long before the Black Mesa incident. Oh, Black Mesa. I do so envy you working with Eli and Dr. Kleiner when they were at the top of their field. Ah, there we go. You can come through now. I'll take you down to Eli right away. He would never forgive me if I kept you waiting. We could certainly use the extra help around here. We've covered a lot of ground in the last few months, but things would go so much faster if we had more people with your training. This way, Dr. Freeman.
Good to know you. You'd better get going. Dr. Mossman's waiting for you.
Judith Mossman is actually a character born from the cut content of Half-Life 1. Although the voice on Half-Life 1's introductory train ride says Black Mesa is an equal opportunity employer, not a single female employee is seen in person throughout the entire game. Technical limitations at the time precluded the use of the textures needed to incorporate female scientists, which resulted in Black Mesa being inhabited entirely by males. In the concept stage, stage, there was originally going to be a female scientist who would betray Gordon, telling him to wait in a room while she snuck off and called in guards who would attempt to capture the player. Another thing of note is the following elevator ride. While Alex's introductory elevator removed distractions, Judith's elevator adds distractions that are actually far more interesting than her dialogue. Little details like this nudge players toward liking Alex and having mixed feelings towards Mossman.
We're closing in on a reliable local teleport technology, something the Combine still hasn't mastered. Eli thinks their portals are string-based, similar to our Calabial model, but they failed to factor in the dark energy equations. They can tunnel through from their universe, but once they're here, they're dependent on local transportation. If they knew what we were doing with entanglement... Oh. Listen to me, I sound like a postdoc. I'm just so excited to think that we'll finally have the chance to work together.
What the fuck?
This way, Dr. Freeman.
Huh?
We remember the free man. We are coterminous.
What happened?
I don't know. What the fuck? Dude. No, fuck that shit. What is going on with him? He's like low texture. He's low texture.
The stream is delayed again. I refresh.
Okay, yeah.
Where was I? Oh, yes. Dr. Kleiner compressed the Zen relay far beyond anything he imagined at Black Mesa. We figured out how to use Zen as an unexpressed axis, effectively a dimensional slingshot, so we can swing around the border world and come back in local space without having to pass through. Oh, here's Eli now.
All right, good. Keep right on.
Eli, look who I found in the airlock.
Gordon Freeman. Let me get a look at you, man. My God, you haven't changed one iota. How do you do it? Now, let's see. The last time I saw you, I sent you up for help after the resonance cascade. I never thought it would take you this long to get back to me. Welcome to the lab, anyway. It's not Black Mesa, but it served us well enough.
It's going to be a lot more like Black Mesa with Gordon here to help.
Right you are. MIT graduates are few and far between these days. We'll get you out of that hazard suit and back into your lab coat where you belong.
Let me just finish up some work and I'll see what I can dig up. Dr. Freeman, it's been a real honor. I'm looking forward to working together.
Feel free to look around.
Oh, Dr. Freeman, you should stay with Eli. Go on, I'll rejoin you soon.
Fine scientist, Judith. She was up for your job at Black Mesa, but you edged her out with your Innsbruck experience. You remember my wife, Ozian, don't you? That picture and Alex were all I managed to carry out of Black Mesa. Dr. Breen. He's the administrator of this whole vile business now. He ended the 7 Hours War by managing Earth's surrender. The Combine rewarded him with power. We're still not sure what that does. Alex brings in the strangest things. We've almost got that portal working again. But I wouldn't blame you if you didn't volunteer for the next trial run.
Eli Vance has earned our trust.
Oh, Gordon. The Vortigaunt said you were here. I can't believe you made it so quickly on foot.
I believe he broke your record, honey.
Well, he earned it. I guess you proved you can handle yourself out there.
There's nothing Gordon can't handle, with the possible exception of you.
Dad, please.
Take a look at this, Gordon.
Eli Vance is indispensable to the liberation. The Eli Vance was our first collaborator.
Why does it look funny when he types?
Alex, I thought you were on watch.
The Vortigaunts relieved me so I could come see Gordon. Anyway, I should be in here working on the portal.
I have the repairs well in hand. Someone misjudged the capacity of the Combine thyristor.
Are you blaming me?
No, not at all. It was a calculation error, not a mechanical problem.
Then maybe you should let me do the calculations next time as well as installing it.
Alex, really? Sometimes I think you deliberately misunderstand me.
Alex, why don't you take Gordon along and give him some practice with the gravity gun?
Sure. Come on, Gordon. Let's go have some fun.
The zero-point energy field manipulator is not a toy, Alex.
Ugh, let's get out of here.
Gravity gun?
See you in a little while, Gordon.
Eli Vance is the Half-Life 2 counterpart of the Half-Life 1 scientist who opened an eye scanner door for the player, telling them to head for the surface right after the resonance cascade. This is evidenced by his dialogue here, the first time in Half-Life 2 where you meet him in person. During the game's complicated development, the character we now know as Eli Vance was originally two separate characters, Captain Vance and Eli Maxwell. Captain Vance was an undercover resistance member who worked for the Combine, running a facility referred to as the Air Exchange, who was also intended to be Alex's father. Eli Maxwell was a character not unlike the final version of Eli Vance. The only major differences are his relationship with Alex as a close friend rather than a father, and he had a very different appearance with a longer beard, glasses, and a cane. When the Air Exchange was cut, it took Captain Vance down with it. The two characters were then rolled into one, and the underground resistance fighter and military leader roles were given to Barney Calhoun and Odessa Covich, respectively. It has also been officially stated that Eli Vance lost his leg to a bull squid, a Half-Life 1 enemy that was also cut from the sequel during development. As an in-game explanation has never been provided, this is still considered to be true within the game's fiction.
The head preserved in this jar is the head of a monster cut from the game. It was a Combine janitor called the Cremator, which would clear the streets of dead soldiers and citizens' bodies after a skirmish. It was to do so using a hose that sprayed some sort of corrosive chemical. During this scene, if the player looks at this head, the newspaper clipboard, or the Vance family picture, Eli will respond, addressing whatever the player is looking at. This is one of the rare instances in the Half-Life series where the voiceless player is able to affect the dialogue in a more meaningful way than just pressing the use key. It shows that other characters are aware of your actions and that these actions are worth addressing.
So I see you met Dr. Mossman. She's one of the main reasons I spend so much time outside. You should hear her drone on about how it should have been her in the Black Mesa test chamber that day. I'm sorry, I shouldn't be talking behind her back. It just gets a bit claustrophobic down here. That's the old passage to Ravenholm. We don't go there anymore.
Ooh, creepy.
We used to be able to go right up there to Ravenholm. It was an old mining town inhabited by some escapees from City 17. Believe me, that tunnel's sealed for a reason.
Alex Vance was not a typical video game heroine at the time of Half-Life 2's release. However, this was not always the case. She originally wore a two-toned bodysuit with knee-high boots and belts with buckles. A few weeks before the E3 reveal, it was decided that she was not a unique character and that she needed to stand out from the crowd. Emergency meetings were held on weekends to try and make her fresh and different. Among the concepts that were considered were giving her glasses or braces and making her a mechanic. The final Alex we have today is a talented hacker, a fighter, and a persistent and determined individual with a kind heart who is willing to get dirty and make do in her fight for freedom.
So, here we are. The scrapyard. This is the gravity gun my father was talking about. You can call it the zero-point energy field manipulator if you really want to. It's designed for handling hazardous materials, but we mainly use it for heavy lifting. Give it a try.
Dr. Mossman may call it the zero-point energy field manipulator, but almost everyone else calls it the gravity gun. Valve has always made it a point to create the illusion that their worlds are tangible. This was part of the reason why Half-Life 1's crowbar visibly reacted when it struck against a wall, accompanied by the appropriate sounds and leaving a mark on the surface. The gravity gun was designed for the same purpose, allowing the player to use Source's physics system to their advantage. The gravity gun's claim to fame is its ability to pick up almost any small or medium-sized physics object and launch it into an enemy. The heavier the object, the more damage it will do. It allowed players to be creative and draw ammo or medkits to them while hiding behind cover, kill an enemy with a toilet, return a grenade to sender, or hold a radiator in front of them as a shield. Giving the player a tool like this opened up possibilities for many different types of mechanics, which heavily influenced the design and gameplay of Half-Life 2, with some of the most well-known showing up in the game's next chapter. Players' responses to the gravity gun over the years have been extremely positive, and as such it became a staple of the episodes that follow Half-Life 2, Episode 1 in particular.
The primary trigger emits a charge. You can punch stuff and send it flying. I found it handy for clearing minefields. The secondary trigger lets you grab things. You can throw them with the primary. Once you pick something up, you can drop it gently by pressing your secondary trigger again. Pick up some stuff and toss it. You can also pull stuff over from a distance. Try grabbing those barrels from that ledge up there. All right. You can stack some stuff to climb up here. Try stacking some things. Grab something with your secondary trigger, then press the same trigger again to drop it gently. Come on, Gordon, build a stack and get up here. All right. Now let me call Dog. He loves to play fetch. Dog! Come! Good doggy. Gordon, this is Dog. My dad built him to protect me when I was a kid. First model was about yay high. I've been adding to him ever since. Haven't I, boy? Okay, Dog, let's play catch with Gordon. You'll need to use the gravity gun. Go ahead, Dog. Throw!
Dog is a fan favorite character, and is one of the few characters to have almost no major redesigns after his initial sketch, having essentially jumped straight from his concept art into a final in-game model with only a few recolors. He is based on classic sci-fi movie robots, like Robbie from Forbidden Planet. He is visibly made up of parts from various machines, the most recognizable being the Combine City scanner camera that serves as his face. His name suits him well, as his personality, his vocalizations, and his relationship with Alex all display very dog-like qualities. Playing fetch with him is a very fun way to playfully teach the gravity gun's mechanics, while establishing his character.
Good catch.
Oh gosh, I just hit him.
Throw another, Dog. Excellent. Go get your ball.
Oh, thanks for following.
Drag_Petty is now following.
No, Dog. No, boy. Down. Put that down. What is it, the dog? Oh my God, what was that? Scanners! Oh, Combine's zipping the area. We gotta head back to the lab. Come on, Gordon. Alex, do you read?
Alex!
What's going on in there?
Where are you, Alex?
We're in the scrapyard airlock, stuck in a full auto cycle.
Is Gordon still with you?
He's right here.
Good. I want you to...
Dad?
Zumixin is
Gordon
now
out of
following.
here. Head for the coast. Do not go through Rafe.
Dad? Dad! Damn it! Dog, open the airlock. Get us out of here. No! Get it open! That's enough, Dog.
Oh, thanks for following Zon Zion.
Ravenholm Tunnel, then circle around and try to meet up with me. Hurry!
Oh, don't leave me!
Ravenholm is heavily foreshadowed throughout the chapter Black Mesa East. From the moment the dark hallway is spotted and Alex cryptically remarks that they don't go there anymore, players know exactly where they're headed when this chapter closes. However, Ravenholm was not always to be framed in this fashion. The player was originally to expect Ravenholm to be a sanctuary away from Combine control, only to find that it had gone awry in a most unpleasing way. This idea was obviously abandoned in favor of creating a building tension as the player approached the zombie-infested town.
Oh wait, that's it for this stream. Thanks for watching. See ya later, bye bye.
Zunxian is now following.